We have reached the halfway point of the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series, and today we start the second half of the season. The run to the championship is on. Only 9 races remain until we crown a champion on Christmas Day at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Tonight, we race on one of the short tracks. This one a very unique and interesting short track at that as well. It's the Indianapolis Raceway Park. And we're here for 50 laps of action around the 0.686 miles short track in Brownsburg, Indiana. It's the Lucas Oil 200, the 10th race of the season here in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. The second half of the season begins tonight in the run for the championship here in this season. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Indianapolis Raceway Park. We are here for the 10th race of the season. We're very excited for this one. We've seen all these speedways the past few weeks, all these different types of tracks that speed is the key. Well, now we completely switch it up, and it's a lot about the maintenance of the car throughout the racetrack, and it's going to be a very interesting race because we have a very similar tire tonight than what we had in the Winter Showdown back in July. And remember who won that race? It was Nicholas Samadio, who took tires late in the going, ended up passing Blaine Keys, who took the same strategy, and ended up winning the race. And guess what? Blaine Keys, once again, starting on the pole. He's got 5 straight poles this season. However, Nicholas Samadio, who won here earlier, who won North Wilkesboro on a similar strategy, starts right behind him there in third, and don't count on Leonard Kochmer either. It's going to be a very interesting race. A lot of strong drivers starting up front in this one. Joined alongside Matt Tuck and Stuart Gratton. Let the Gratton Autosport propaganda start again here. Both of you guys in the booth. Great to have both of you in the booth as always. And you got both of your drivers starting up front. And they are the 2 drivers going for the championship. And while they are affiliated, they are still rivals going for this title here. So Matt, I'm going to start off with you. What does Blaine need to do to get his 4th win of the season and win this race from the pole once again?
Well, I mean, we've seen that we know short tracks are very much a track position race. And I think starting on P1, obviously he's got 2 of the heavy hitters in this title fight flanking him. So it's going to be hotly contested out the gate. Just get out to a good lead early, and then fingers crossed, we don't run into any pit road issues like we have the past couple of weeks. I mean, if we're being honest, that's last week. Blaine should have probably about 20 points up in the championship right now, at least. And last week's debacle at Vegas kind of ruined it, even if we didn't get the win. So it's going to be fun tonight, though. This is some big dogs here up front.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Blaine Keys can have a clean race, win this thing from the pole. Of course, last week at Las Vegas, he did not have the best truck, and then top that off with the poor pit stop. It gave way to Rogaldorn getting the race victory. But Nicholas Samadio was very strong in that race, closed this championship up by 8 points, and he actually has the best average finishing position of any driver up to this point in the season. And Stuart, he's your driver, he's your guy here in the Truck Series. What does he need to do to get around Blaine Keys, pull away, and get his 2nd win of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series?
Well, the most important thing is track position, as Matt said earlier on, and want to get out to to get off to the best start possible, get around the 39 and the 1, who of course are we've got the top 3 in points, all in the top 3 in the starting lineup, so I think that's pretty telling. But make your way forward, get around the other competitors, 39, the 1. Derek's up here as well, so get around the 24 as well. And then, with the way the tyres work, I think if you could get out to the front early, it'll be hard to pass. Particularly with the guys up front. Expect the 39 to run well, expect the 1 to run well on the long runs as well as our guys. So, and then I suppose you see the 24, the 88 up here, and some other guys maybe further back will be interesting to see how they go about it. But yeah, I think getting out to a good start straight away, and then passing the guys ahead, and then maintaining track position, and then of course clean pit stops. So yeah, that's I think the keys to getting this job done.
And it's going to be interesting to see if we do have those clean pit stops. It's about a 28-lap fuel run, roughly. But if a caution comes out during a certain time, we could see a 2-stop race, and we could see some strategy come into play with that as well, considering the high tire wear that we have here tonight. It's one of the shortest races of the season as well, mileage-wise, I should say. Only Bristol and Martinsville are shorter in actual length. But this race will still feel a little bit long. It is a slow racetrack, especially when the tires get worn out. And it's going to be fascinating to see how these guys manage it once we get down to that point. Here's how they line up in the points standings coming into this one. Like I said, halfway through the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and Blaine Keys has obviously been the dominant driver. However, last week's debacle there at Las Vegas has set him back just a little bit, and he's only got 8 points ahead of Nicholas Samedillo, and Nicholas actually has a great opportunity at maybe even taking the points lead here tonight if things go a certain way. And another thing for Nicholas, too, and I don't want to get too off topic with this, he's going for his 30th career win on the channel, looking to become the first driver to do that on the channel. He could possibly pull that off tonight. We'll keep that in mind if that ends up happening. Leonard Kosmer only 18 points behind, so you got the top 3 in points starting first, second, and third here tonight. Not in that respective order, but they're all up there to start this one here. Thomas Troxell's 26 points behind, and don't count out Jack Haas in the 6 machine. Really haven't seen too much of him other than that Rockingham second place run where he almost got the win ahead of Blaine Keys. He's only 38 points behind. If things go a certain way this last half of the season, that's another Grattan affiliated truck right there looking to make waves in the championship. But it's Blaine Keys, the driver that everyone is looking to get here tonight. Like I said, his 5th straight pole, and he can thank that qualifying format for getting to that position. Every time he makes that Fast 6, he is the fastest truck, and you know, Matt, I'm sure you're proud of that one. A lot of that has to do with you and the owner's ratings on that side as well. He's alongside Leonard Kosmer, who almost got Blaine Keys in qualifying last night, but just not close enough. He starts on the outside pole. You got Nicholas Samedillo and Christian Vargas with a great starting position here for this one, qualifying in the 4th position. You got Derek Hamill and Justin Zeidel there in row number 3. Bryce Egan to the inside of last week's winner of Rogel Dorn in row number 4. And Logan Williams, who had a good run in the Winter Showdown back in July, to the inside of Thomas Troxell. Got the Parker Davis trucks there on row 6 with Jack Haas and Skep Silver. And another driver here, though, that has struggled mightily this season, at least based off our expectations. Ludovic Schreck, he's all the way back, starting 18th here tonight on the outside lane. We'll have to see if she can work way through the field. And last year's winner of this race was Igor Brito in the 13. He starts in the 16th position there for Webb Racing Enterprises. We'll go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here in the Lucas Oil 200. And Matt and then Stewart, who do you guys think's going to victory lane here tonight as we start the second half of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series?
Oh man, oh man, oh man, this is so hard. I'm gonna pick a Ford. Honestly though, I am gonna pick Nicholas Samedillo. Won the Winter Showdown. I think he's got a great truck to do it tonight.
And I'll return the favor. I'm gonna go Blaine again. I did it last week and I jinxed him, so hopefully for our sake it's not a jinx. But yeah, no, he's on from the pole, and I think he's in the best position to win this race.
We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Don't count out Leonard Kosmer either in the 39. And hey, Rogel Dorn had a great run last week in Las Vegas, and it kind of came out of nowhere. Maybe he has some more magic here tonight. Here we go. Got some short track racing on a Friday night here at IRP. Blaine Keys, Leonard Kosmer on the front row. We're green flag racing here as we start the second half of the season with the Lucas Oil 200. Well, it was as expected there with the start. A good jump from Blaine Keys. He's pulling away now from the number 23 of Nicholas Samedillo. Samedillo with a good run right now in that 23 machine, holding on to that second position, but look at the speed that one machine has. He is pulling away from Samedillo right now. Kosmer got into the 3rd position, and how about Logan Williams moving himself up into the 4th position right there for Triad Racing. This is the team who is dead last in the owner's points coming into this race, or they might have jumped one of the teams after last week, but still, it has not been a good season for these guys at all. And Logan trying to rebound here tonight and get his first win of the season.
And you got Jack Haas there as well in the Parker Davis Enterprise truck up to 5th. Great start there for another Grattan affiliate. That's 4 of us, 3 of us in the top 5. Thomas Troxell in 6, so the top 5 is basically on lock. Logan Williams, the only driver not currently affiliated with Grattan Industries or Echo Evans or Echo Ross Racing, having a great run here. I really hope he can get this turnaround for Triad here. Blaine Keys, though, is already taking off. He is just flying away here early.
Got some movement back in here. Well, you had Troxel making a move on Jack Oz. Couldn't make it stick right there. Of course, everyone's essentially on the same tire wear at this point, but the tire wear will get a lot more significant as this run goes along, and because of how significant it is, some of these guys may try to undercut, try to pull some strategy to maybe get to Blaine Keys in this race, but Blaine having a much better start to this race than what he had last week at Las Vegas. That is for sure. Already up 1.7 seconds with San Benito. That 23 may be holding some of these guys up. San Benito might not have the speed that he was hoping for in this one.
Yeah, probably not as of right now. Just struggling a little bit for the speed in maybe the center of the turn. You see Koshma just able to get a little bit lower and get on the rear of the 23 there, but can't quite find a way around as of this moment in time. But Logan, Logan Williams, he's got off to a good start. He and Jack Haas have fired off quite well. Blaine as well, of course, in that regard. And I don't know, that's something that maybe we struggle a little bit, is getting off to a good start throughout the season. And I think later on in the run we've seen, certainly at Vegas, we saw Nicholas and Koshma for that matter as well. They were able to really move their way through the field. So not sure what the reasoning is for that, in terms of whether maybe it's a vehicle thing or a driver thing. We're not sure, but yeah, Blaine's off to a really dominant start, and Leonard here, he's going to look to the inside now. It was probably it won't be. I think he should get it done. Looks like he's going to get this one done there on that inside lane.
Yeah, Leonard Kochmer, I think, is much faster than San Medeo, and I think that 23 is a bit off the pace compared to the pseudo teaming to Blaine Keys right there. Blaine almost 3 seconds ahead now. Oh boy. It's some crazy stuff there that Blaine Keys has been able to pull off this year on the channel. And you know what? If he keeps this up, we talk about San Medeo being the first driver to win 30 races on the channel. If Blaine keeps this up going into next year, Blaine could very well end up being the all-time winningest driver on the channel by this time a year from now, the way he has run in the Wawa Cup Series and in the Turkey Hill Truck Series as well. And this race right here really proving it at the moment. Both Leonard Kochmer and Logan Williams got around Nicholas San Medeo right there, and they're going to start pulling away from this 23. There's just, I don't know what's up with that, Grattan, but it's up to that, Stewart. But definitely not the run that you would have hoped for in this one. And how about a change for second? How about Logan Williams going for it on Leonard Kochmer here for that second spot?
I mean, we've seen these. I mean, bear in mind, Logan and San Medeo, Appalachia teammates over in the Cup Series, and we know the kind of pace that they have shown on short tracks. I mean, and you're seeing it here tonight. Logan Williams, again, here on one of these older style short tracks here, really doing good. Jack Haas was another guy who really showed out on short tracks. We know Leonard Kochmer was fantastic in the Sprint Series, so you really are seeing a lot of the short track stars here battle it out tonight. All the heavy hitters. Honestly, right now, in the top 6 here, Logan Williams obviously doesn't have the points to back up anything for me to say the statement, but I feel like he drives the truck better than what the results he has gotten this year. You've got some of the best drivers, 6 of the 7 best drivers or so this season up here right now. I mean, fantastic stuff here. This is an awesome battle. This guy up front likes to see it because he's 5 seconds out in front now.
This is insane.
Fantastic.
Right here. Absolutely insane what Blaine Keys is doing, and they keep on battling for a second. I just don't think any of these guys really have the truck to compete with Blaine. It's going to take strategy in order to get to that one machine in this race, and there is a chance to pull that off, so we'll have to see if that ends up being the case. The tire wear really starting to kick in now. Very high tire wear, very quick tire wear here tonight at IRP. Bryce Egan is 7th. Great run for Bryce in this one. Brian Webb there in 8th. How about Roberto Crown Jr.? This is another driver who has quietly run very well all season, and another top 10 run for them right here. Getting inside of Brian Webb. And how about Eric Monaco running top 10 on this 28 machine? Eric Monaco is another one of those drivers. He's qualified very well this season, but he has not really gotten the results in the races to show for it. Ludovic Schredt really hasn't moved up too much. Yeah, she's moved up 5 positions, which for a short track like this is not bad at all. Up to 13th, and the other Triad truck there, Nathan Stapling, currently runs at 12th. A home race here for Nathan, and he's having, so far, pretty much the best run he's had all season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. But 5.42 seconds now as Logan Williams does officially take second away. Is it going to be Logan Williams, the second best truck in this race, looking to take the battle to Blaine Keys, 31st in points against the points leader? That would be something else, but it's not too much of a surprise considering how Logan Williams drives. This is how he is. all of a sudden he'll show up and dominate a race. It happens a lot in the Wawa Cup Series. It happened when he won the Southern 500 last year in 2023. And he is showing up here tonight, but still got to get through that pit stop and execute in that regard. Caution, we're going to lose 3 positions right there as he got stuck on the outside lane. That tire wear really starting to kick in for these guys.
Absolutely, and I think with Logan as well, I find it, and Triad Racing, it's been really weird because they were very strong last year in the truck series with Josh Williamson in the 72 and obviously Nathan Staples in the 61. And Logan was in the 39, won a couple of races. So their struggles this year have been very bizarre to me because I figured that they'd be there or thereabouts again. But it seems like 72's got the second quickest truck at the moment, now that he's got around Koshima and up into that second spot. A big shout out to Jack Haas as well in the 6 and Parker Davis Enterprises. One of the, I suppose, like a little storyline behind the scenes here, of course, is one of these 3 teams, Parker Davis, OSC, and Beacon Quantum, the 2
yes.
Cup teams next year. And right now, Parker Davis Enterprise is doing a really good job, of course, part of our alliance. And Jack has done a great job driving this 6 and top 5 in points. So, it has to be said too, though, that even though Blaine is, he's by far and away the best driver at the moment, certainly in this race, the other guys that are, 2nd through 5th in points are all in the top 6 as well. So, very interesting.
That's the first time the lead is closed in. Logan currently driving faster than Blaine right now, so this could get interesting, especially if we get a caution, which I'm surprised we actually have gone green flag the whole way through. They have run a clean race here tonight, and I got to give them credit. We're closing in halfway through this race, and then the window's going to open for pit cycles, and Ladovic's slipping back again there as Igor Broda gets around her right there. That's for 14. This is such an amazing thing, too. You talk about, all the struggles with Logan Williams and Triad Racing, and while Ladovic did get the win in Michigan, this is the defending Truck Series champion who won the championship with Beacon Quantum Racing, who is currently one of the worst teams in the series right now, unfortunately. And here's Ladovic driving for arguably one of the best teams in the series, struggling all the way down 12th in points and just not getting anywhere in this race. It's very fascinating what's going on there with Ladovic, especially in comparison to her teammate of Blaine Kiza. She struggled so much that she said this will be her last season in the Truck Series, so we'll see where that ends up going, if she becomes an owner or not, bring Intersys Motor Racing over maybe, and just continue to grow that alliance. Half the field's going to be under the Grattan Alliance by next season. That's the way it's going here. But Logan Williams has a good shot here. If things go a certain way, if a caution comes out, if he undercuts, plays the strategy. Now then again, too, considering if this race stays green, you may actually want to overcut because the tire wear does get a lot more significant later on in the run, and even a 2-lap difference makes a huge difference in the speed of these trucks. So we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. But Matt, I know you guys had an issue on pit lane last week with Blaine Keys. I know you're hoping for that to not happen again here tonight.
Well, I think the good thing here with about a 5.5 second lead for Blaine, I mean, he can actually, unironically, he can afford a little bit of a slower stop, so that is a good thing for him. What he can't afford is to get undercut too much, because with how much we have lost on lap time here, getting undercut would be really bad here. Logan Williams, fantastic run. Jack Haas, a great run for him. The ERR trucks has always been fantastic. Brian Webb's driven that thing up to 6th place. Fantastic run for him. The 28 of Monaco's in there. Roberto Crown Jr. is up to 9th. They've just been one of the more impressive drivers that we don't talk about too much. And I mean, Ladovic's hanging out there with Nathan Stapleton's having a good. This is good. I mean, shout out Triad Racing, having a nice night here at their home or at Nathan's home track here. And I think Ladovic, wrap it up real quickly here. I think Ladovic's had a better season than the results would indicate. Had a good run or got screwed at Daytona, got screwed at Watkins Glen, DNF at Rockingham. I mean, the pace is in this truck. The results just have not backed it up with some bad luck here. So I think that's what's hurt Ladovic this year mostly.
Nobody coming down quite yet. Should expect someone to come down here shortly. Of course, these tires are really worn out. You can tell just by how slow they're going through these corners. Blaine staying out another lap right here. Maybe a bit of a longer cycle than we originally anticipated. But they will be coming down at some point here tonight in this one. And it's going to be very soon. These guys kind of gaggling behind Bryce Egan right now. Igor Brother trying to make a move there on Nathan Stapleton. You can tell. It's almost like they're under a pace lap going for the corner. That's just how much tire wear we got going on right here. And a very fascinating type of race when we get tire wear like this, because you can see Stapleton kind of a little bit faster going into the corner on Bryce Egan right there. His tire wear not as bad as the 5 right now. Of course, Bryce Egan almost won that North Wilkesboro Cup race ahead of Nicholas Samedeo. And now, the floodgates are open, and Blaine Keys is down. And this is going to be fascinating here. Blaine being one of the first ones down may actually be the better call. However, near the end of this run, assuming that we don't get a caution, so hopefully we do not end up with a yellow flag during this cycle, because that's also something that would put this one machine behind here tonight. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for Blaine Keys right here, and we'll focus on Blaine once again. Last time we did it, it wasn't the best result. Maybe it'll be a little bit better for Blaine here tonight.
4 tires as you'd expect here because of how the tire wear is. I like the move as clean pit stop because good stuff there. But I think what's really interesting with the one is coming down a lap early. We saw that work for Rogal Dawn at Vegas, and I think with the gap that he had, and now with a clean pit stop, I think.
No! He just took himself out. Got in there, Eric Monaco, and Blaine Keys has front end damage from that. Oh no!
We were just talking about how, I was just about to say how he's in a crack.
Got a couple guys back in. Brian Webb, no. Monaco was trying to get back down, and everything jammed up, but there is significant front end damage on the one machine of Blaine Keys right there, and this is while the cycle's going on. This is going to change everything up here tonight in this race. Oh my goodness. Will that be enough damage to knock Blaine Keys out of it? I think Logan Williams actually jumped him right there, too. Oh, boy, it's going to take a second to figure this out. We're going to have to wave some guys around after this one. Wow. Absolutely unbelievable right there with Blaine Keys getting into Monaco. That's just a miscommunication right there. Monaco was coming down, and Blaine should have been a little bit more aware of it there. I think Jack Haas is actually going to be the race leader. Have to see who is going to actually, in fact, be the race leader here, because we're going to have to wait for everything to cycle through right here. And we have a lot of guys who are on the tail end because of that. We'll see how it ends up shaking out here. Wow. First you get Joey Logano in the Championship 4, and then you get this. And Logan is, in fact, the race leader. Blaine is now 3rd. And there's some guys in the back who had yet to make a stop. A lot of these guys on the tail end of the lead lap are going to get waved around. Currently, it's Logan Williams, Jack Haas, Blaine Keys, Leonard Kochmer, Thomas Troxel, and Nicholas Samedeo. And I think Andrew Williams was also able to stay on the lead lap there, not get caught at on the tail end right there. So we'll wait for him to cycle through right here. And we'll wait for the rest of the guys to come down as well. Brian Webb with heavy damage. That's a shame for him, because he had such a great run going for him in this one. So this isn't actually going to really mess things up too much, because we're going to wave these guys around. But Blaine's going to lose 2 positions, and he has front-end damage because of that. I don't know if that's going to affect him later on down the road, but now Logan Williams is in control of this race here at IRP.
I mean, we will see. That didn't look like it. That looked like a shunt. It didn't look like the biggest shunt I've ever seen. And he has not come down pit road yet, so that's an encouraging sign. If he'd come down pit road, obviously it's race over. But he's still out there, so we'll see. But tough. I mean, it's happened. Stock Car World Cup at Iowa, we watched 2 races back-to-back years get decided on the crossover of the pit in and pit out. So it happens,
Well, we're going to go ahead and see what happened. That brought out the caution here in IRP, and then get back to racing here in the Lucas Oil 200. We're going to wave these guys around and get back to it with Logan Williams out front here at IRP. Well, I don't know what else to say about this one. Blaine should have just checked up a little bit more. Wow. Monaco, honestly, Monaco did nothing wrong. He was already committed to coming down, and Blaine just ran right into him. We'll see if this affects Blaine as this race goes along. He did get back around and is still rolling, so that's a good sign for Blaine as this race continues on. It's a tough break for Monaco. Monaco was another one of those guys who was up front in this whole sequence, along with the other guy I'm going to mention, Brian Webb. You see Andrew Williams trying to cut down here to avoid the accident, and somehow I think he misses the pit lane here. Oh, wow. Yeah. He didn't commit in time. The pit lane was closed, and he tried to come back on the racetrack and then got in the Monaco, who was still trying to come back down the pit lane, though he was not going to make that entry. And then got spun in the grass right there. And then Brian Webb in the 99. You got a lot of these guys trying to avoid it here. Brian Webb coming through the grass right here. Oh, yeah, he got a little loose right there and just right into the back of Eric Monaco, who got caught up there with Andrew Williams. That is such a tough break there for Brian Webb. We had such a good run going for him here tonight. It's going to end in a DNF for the Webb Racing Enterprises driver.
You can see Blaine Keys coming off of the pit road, just trying to merge back onto the racetrack, and maybe just wasn't expecting Monaco to come down at that time, and ran into the back of the 28, turned the 28 around, got a fair bit of front end damage, and then Monaco's trying to get back on a pit road. Takes out Andrew Williams, sorry, and then Brian Webb unfortunately runs straight into the 28. A bit of a very messy sequence there between quite a few drivers there. It's such a shame for Webb in particular, who's got a lot of damage out of the race now as a result. He was running very, very well. Had a very fast truck, so disappointing for the 99 team.
Well, it was disappointing for Brian Webb. It is not disappointing for Logan Williams, who will be the race leader once we cycle everything through right here. That worked out perfectly for the Triad Racing driver. We're going to have to see if it works out for him as this race goes along. He's your race leader. Jack Haas is second, and then it's Blaine Keys still running third, even with the damage on that truck. Let's get back to racing here in the Lucas Oil 200 at IRP. And we are back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bit of an extended caution there to get everyone waved around. And the number 72 of Logan Williams will be the race leader, even though the 06 is shown the race leader currently. I'm not entirely sure why the 06 is shown the race leader, but a little bit of a scoring issue at the moment there. So it is Logan Williams who is officially the race leader. Then it's Jack Haas, Blaine Keys, Leonard Kochmer, Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Samedeo. How about Christian Vargas? Kind of stayed on the right end of that one. Bryce Egan and then Caleb Rose. That is the top 10. A lot of these guys ended up staying on the lead lap because they stayed out, and they're ahead of the guys who had come down the pit lane. So it's going to be fascinating to see how that ends up shaking out. But here we go, Logan Williams going to take the green flag once again. And you got Jack Haas looking to take the lead away from him, and now showing the 06 as the race leader. I think he drove around too much, and that's not going to work out for the 06 of Skep Silver. So this right here is officially for the race lead. You got Jack Haas taking it away here, and Blaine Keys still in this thing, but Logan's going to try to fight hard on the outside lane.
Jack Haas has been he wants that redemption for that Rockingham win that he lost out to Blaine Keys. He had a fast truck on the late run of that race, and he's going to take the lead here. Parker Davis Enterprises technically has a 1-2. Parker Davis Racing Enterprises technically has a 1-2 right now, but that's not going to stand. But Jack Haas here looking to get his team their first ever win. And Blaine Keys just drove into the back of Eric Monaco 5 laps ago. And he's still up here. I don't know if he can go chase down this 6 truck, but he is still up here. This is fantastic stuff from this one.
But Jack Haas has a clean race truck, and he has pulled away. And Logan just doesn't quite have the speed to these Grattan-affiliated trucks. They've black flagged, as you saw, Skep Silver right there. And now Jack Haas looking to pull away and maybe get some redemption from what happened to him at Rockingham. There's Skep Silver coming down to serve the penalty for waving around a bit too much right there. Not entirely sure what happened during that whole cycle. Logan slipping back again. Nicholas Samedeo would love to get around Blaine Keys right here and maybe gain a little bit, not lose too much ground in that championship fight. But man, this number 6 machine, just like Blaine Keys earlier on, such a dominant truck at the moment. And Blaine, and around goes Logan Williams and Caleb Rose, and they are flipping in turn 1. And we're going to have another restart on our hands here, and that is so unfortunate for Logan Williams, who has had such a tough season, had such a good run going for him in this one, was the race leader on the restart, and now he's going to fall back because of this incident as they race back to the line once again. Jack Haas is your race leader. Blaine Keys is going to be right behind him. The late race restart here at IRP. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I saw that in the background. They were going 3 wide. I think Caleb Rose was the one that made it 3 wide. Replay will show that later, but I think he was the one that made it 3 wide, and then I think they all squeezed each other.
That was certainly a wild sequence of events between Skip Silver being scored the leader, and then all of that going down with Logan Williams. That was a bad sequence for Logan. We got some guys in the back coming down for tires. Maybe tried a little strategy out here. Just don't think they're going to have enough time to get anything to go their way. And Blaine Keys is going to still be right there with a shot at this race win. This is going to get interesting. Thomas Troxel is going to be third. Sam Adia will be fourth, and Kochmer will be fifth. And Christian Vargas, I mean, you got to hand it to him. He's held on to a great run here. Bryce Egan, Bruno Diacomo started deep in the field. He's actually a lap down in the 3 machine, unfortunately. Next driver in line is Barretto in 8th. Horshung in 9th. And then Ludovic Charette, I do believe, in 10th. Stapleton and Williams both a lap down from pit road cycling from earlier on. We're going to go ahead, get these guys to file up again, and get to a quick restart here in this Lucas Oil 200 at IRP. But first, let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the night here in this 10th race of the season. Well, this is an interesting sequence right here. I'm almost wondering if Logan didn't take tires on his pit stop, because he was dropping like a rock throughout this sequence. Both Kochmer and Caleb Rose on the outside trying to split them. And this is just not a place you do that. Kochmer moving up on Williams. Williams moves up there on Caleb Rose. And yeah, Kochmer just squeezed them. I don't think he was aware they were 3 wide. And into the wall went Kochmer. He was able to kind of keep it going. But Logan and Caleb were not as fortunate in this situation. Vargas able to avoid that one. He's got a great run going for him here tonight. But not a good run there for Skylar Taylor, who's going to run right into Caleb Rose. And then the other OSC Racing truck of Corey Case is going to send Skylar upside down. Oh, and Roberto Crown Jr. got caught up in that one as well. That's a tough break for them. They had a good run going tonight. And that's going to take them out of sequence. Just a bad move there from Leonard Kochmer squeezing up there. And a lot of other guys getting caught up in this one. And it's such a tough break for Logan. Had such a good run going for him. But he is still going to be out there, currently running in the 11th position.
Well, you're going to watch Logan come off the corner here, and... Ooh, just... I mean, a little bit of a squeeze up by Kochmer, but that's just 3 wide in the wrong place, and then everybody's going to go piling in here. That's a triad race, and I feel so bad for them because they had fantastic pace this year. And I don't even know if, like, it's just the trucks have fallen off. They've had some of the worst luck I've ever seen. And the streak is going to continue here for Logan Williams. A tough break for their 72 team.
They get Joey Logano on their team. It'll all switch around if he was driving for him, that's for sure. I had to. Well, going to set up about 4 laps to go. Jack Haas is your race leader. Blaine's got a shot. Even with all that's gone on with him tonight, he still has a shot at this win. But that number 6 really pulled away on that restart. We'll see if he does it again. 4 laps to go here in the Lucas Oil 200 at IRP. We are back here at IRP. Going to restart with 4 laps to go. And Christian Vargas in the 24 with a tire issue. Man, you had Christian Vargas, you had Logan Williams. What a shame there for Vargas, who had a great run going for him. Another shame, too, for Logan Williams, who, even though got caught up in that one, he is 11th, so he is still knocking on the door of the top 10 here tonight. And I believe you mentioned Derek Hamill in the 51 had a piston go bad, and Hamill's going to finish last in this race. Well, the chaos that we had earlier on did miss that. All right, 4 to go. It's Jack Haas, Blaine Keys, Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Sammy, and Leonard Kochmer. The top 5 in points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like you mentioned to me, Matt, there. It's going to be a wild run to the finish with 4 to go here in the Lucas Oil 200. Here we go. Will Jack Haas get a good jump? He does. I think the damage is hurting Blaine just a little bit, and Troxel going to try for second on the 1 machine. I know Sammy would love to see that.
Well, I think this is a little bit of... So, go on, Stuart. That's my bad.
Absolutely. Sam Adia would love to see the 93 get around the one. I think he just booted Troxel out of the way.
Oh, my.
Oh! It's in the wall, goes Troxel. Sam Adia trying to move his way up, but Jack Haas at the moment looking pretty good here for this race win by the looks of it. They're all going on crazy behind Sam Adia. to get that inside lane to work, but Rocks will gain the outside lane. Good strong run there for the 93 to hold on to that third position and try and run down the 1. Looks like, I don't think Blaine Keys can keep up with Jack Haas at the moment. It looks like the 6 is in a good position. We've got more cars on pit road, more trucks.
Yeah, some guys in the back, they've had some struggles tonight. Not entirely sure what's up with them. Jack Haas is in a great position right now. He is pulling away. Blaine just doesn't quite have the power in that truck after what happened to him. Now, granted, all things considered, with him getting into Eric Monaco, and that's when it all went down when that happened. He's actually running very well. Stapleton also down the pit lane again. A lot of these guys who were a lap down having issues as Jack Haas is taking the white flag. He's only looking for his second career win on the channel right here. And you know what? He's got a very good opportunity of doing so. Max Davis looking to get his first ever win as an owner on the channel. And it won't be Blaine Keys here tonight in this Lucas Oil 200. It's going to be 5th in points. It's going to be Jack Haas getting the race victory in the Lucas Oil 200 at IRP. Blaine Keys will finish 2nd. Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Samedeo, and Leonard Kochmer the top 5. The top 5 in points finish in the top 5 positions. Bryce Egan will hold on to 6th. Igor Pareto 7th. Ludovic Charette in 9th. Laura Chung in, or should I say Ludovic Charette in 8th. Laura Chung in 9th. And Rogeldorn rounds out the top 10 with Logan Williams finishing 11th.
Ooh.
That was a wild race, but Jack Haas had a fast truck at the end there, and he earned that one, even though he got the lead off of that cycle. The caution was, in fact, caused by Blaine Keys anyway, so Jack Haas with the best truck here tonight at IRP. He gets the job done for his first win of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Everyone's speechless.
Yeah. I was going to let Matt talk, but clearly not.
Anytime we win.
Actually, in technicality, neither of you did actually win. It was, in fact, Max Davis, though the logo is on the quarter panel of that truck.
It is on the truck. It is on the truck. That's what we care about here.
That's all that matters.
Wild sequence there at the end. But Blaine Keys still ends up with a 2nd place finish here tonight. Jack Haas did have a better truck at the end, though. Once he got out front, had the clean air, clean racetrack, he was out of here, and he earned that one, getting a little bit of redemption from Rockingham as well from Blaine Keys. But Blaine has shown us here tonight he is still clearly the best driver in the series. Now, we had the Dover next week, Pocono the week after that. I think it's almost a shoo-in that he's going to win Pocono. I don't know what you guys think, but thoughts on that one, and what a race here at IRP.
You go, Matt.
I think, I think tonight was a good example that in the era that we're currently in, obviously, there's lots of competitive teams, but there really is a hierarchy, I think, that we're starting to now establish between ERR and Grattan affiliated trucks. And I think it's fun to see. Like, I love seeing the top 5 come out of, 4 stables, but basically 2 groups. You got some fantastic drivers there. Jack Haas, great to see him get a win. Max Davis's first win as an owner. Blaine Keys, that's a great that looked like a potential disaster when he ran into Eric Monaco. He comes home 2nd. He loses nothing in the championship. Great day. Troxel, Samedeo, Kochmer. Great days. That's what you like to see here is the best drivers battling it out. Ludovic Charette rebounds from an 18th starting position. But I feel for Logan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He had a race winning truck, and it does not go his way this year.
Yeah, that's a shame. Now, granted, too, that's one of Logan's best finishes of the season. Considering the season he's had. I feel bad for his teammate Nathan Stapleton. Ended up having to come back down again. There were issues in the back of the field with some of these guys who got caught a lap down during that whole cycle. Not everyone ended up back on the lead lap, and things got a little interesting there when we were cycling folks around. But Skep Silver ended up finishing right around the same spot he would have anyway, even with that black flag that we gave him. So not much loss there, thankfully. Brian Webb, that's a big one. This is a guy who actually probably would have finished top 5 if he was not caught up in that accident with Blaine and Eric Monaco. And then Derek Hamill with the piston issue. It's been a bad season for Derek, and it's just going to continue to get worse for you guys in the points in that regard. But Nicholas Samadio going to manage that points gap. Going to be 11 points heading into our next race at Dover, so he's still very much in the fight for this one. And your thoughts on this one, Stuart? Well, a wild race, but definitely a lot of fun there at the end.
I must admit, I think given what happened with the one, I think if you're the 23, 39, 93, I think you'd be disappointed to finish behind him, to be honest, given what happened there with that little incident. But I'm very happy for Jack. Obviously, great for him to get a win, and particularly for Max Davis and Parker Davis. They've had a really good year, to be honest. Even Skep in the 06, has had a decent year. He was top 15 in points coming into this race. So. And obviously Jack was top 5. So, I think they're in a really good position to get that final Cup team for 2025, and it's good for us too anyway, and good for Max, and obviously Jack's going to be driving the 39 again, so he'll be there or thereabouts in the Cup Series next year, and he'll gain a bit he'll be the only guy to gain on Blaine Keys in this race. So. Good night for Jack Haas and Parker Davis Enterprises.
Absolutely, and Jack's the only guy in that top 5 in points who actually did gain on Blaine Keys on this race, albeit just by a couple of points, but still, that's a good momentum swing for those guys, and they actually have a good opportunity if they can keep the momentum up throughout the season. It's important to note as well that Jack Haas, his first win, came very similarly to how Blaine Keys almost could have won this race. He actually took himself out in that Martinsville race in the Cup Series, trying to get around a lap car. Won the race back to the line. Actually just barely beat you, Matt. Was able to hold on. Blaine had a very similar situation here. The problem is that Jack and Logan actually were ahead regardless because they had yet to come down the pit lane, and it ended up cycling the way it did. But I'm glad Blaine Keys was able to recover for the most part from that, and it did not actually ruin his night and ruin his championship hopes here. And let's put it this way. It's going to take things like that for Blaine to lose the championship the way this season is going. However, got some interesting tracks coming up. We got Dover, which that may not necessarily fall in Keys' favor. I mean, remember what happened there in the Cup Series back in May. And then you also have Pocono, which I think is going to be a good track for Blaine since he did win the Cup race there back in July. Then after that, we got Iowa, another short track there. We got Road America, and then Chicagoland can also be a wild card race as well. Then you fall into Martinsville. Talladega is the penultimate race, so Blaine's got to be careful throughout these next few races here. Try to build up as much of a lead as he can, because Talladega especially, you can just go out there, wipe it out, and lose it. Even though he did the opposite in the Wawa Cup Series with that Daytona race, it ended up not working out with Ladovic having the great run she had in the Southern 500. What a night here at IRP. That was a lot of fun, and guess what? We got another race tomorrow that is also a lot of fun, and I can say that definitely because we've already recorded it. You are going to want to watch it. You cannot miss tomorrow's Grizzled Graphics Grand Prix from Nelson Ledges. What an interesting race it was. You do not want to miss it. And that's going to be noon Eastern Time tomorrow right here on AG the channel. We got Murray in the booth for that one. We got the Wawa Cup Series favorites up front for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun on that 2-mile road course. You do not want to miss it tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Jack Haas on his race victory here in the Luke Soil 200 at IRP. We'll see you guys next Saturday, noon Eastern Time, for the Nemours Children's Health 200 from Dover. Here are the point standings for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after 10 races. And on behalf of Stuart Gratton and Matt Tuck, I will see you guys later.